Hey there, welcome. Thanks for joining me. If this is your first time to my channel, my name is Violet, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a few DIYs of some what I consider bohemian style or even farmhouse style home decor. And what we're going to do first isn't really a DIY, but it is Dollar Tree items that I put together in a different way than what they were meant to be. So what you're going to need is one of these plant holders, and they're the Macrame ones. You can get at Dollar Tree. And what you're going to do is from the top, count 3 of the openings. On the 3rd opening, go ahead and insert the corner of your square mirror, or any square plate would work as well. So just insert each one of your 4 corners of your mirror into that 3rd opening. Once you do that, you can easily just allow it to hang. And now what we're going to do is from that first mirror, you're going to go all the way down to where the knot is at, the final opening, and get another mirror and place it in an angle from the top mirror. So they're both going to be in different angles. And then you just go ahead and place your mirror into those openings of the last openings before the knot at the bottom. And there you go, a macrame shelf. So what do you think? It's one of these cute, adorable mini macrame shelves that you can purchase in all different kinds of fancier stores, and you just had to do it for $3 at Dollar Tree. So next, what we're going to do is get one of these rows of the raffia. Now these rows, you can usually get 2 of them in one package. I believe 2 or 3. Can't really remember, but they're typically the natural color or yellow or even green. I think I've seen them. So just go ahead and get whatever roll of raffia you do have. What you're going to do is cut them to size, and basically I cut them about 6 inches or so. And you're going to also need one of these wire wreath makers. And this is one of the smaller ones that come 2 in a pack. So you can use any size you like. What you're going to do after you cut your raffia into the size you like, go ahead and insert it from basically it's over and under onto your metal wreath. And then you're going to flip it over and add your glue to the back. And basically what you're trying to do is line up your raffia and kind of spread it out, but to make sure it looks full, and attach it to your wreath. And what you're going to do is basically add as much as you like of this raffia, depending on what you're going for or what you want to do. I was inspired by a picture I saw that was an African necklace. It's what it's called. And they had all different styles, all different ways of making them, from actual necklaces to raffia and rope and all kinds of stuff. So I thought they looked so beautiful and so unique that I decided to go ahead and make one using Dollar Tree items. So again, basically all you're going to do is cut your raffia to size that you like. I think I cut mine about 6 to 8 inches in length, but I do end up cutting it and trimming it off at the end. So just do it a little bit longer than what you really want, and then go from there. And then you're just going to grab a handful of your raffia, trying to make sure that the top part is at least as close as can be as even, if that makes sense. And then just go ahead and bundle it up, go over, under, and then over, then under again on your metal wreath. And here I'm just showing you how I did it. And then what you're going to do is kind of evenly spread it apart, trying to make it as even as you can. And then you're just basically going to add glue to the back, right where the metal wreath meets the raffia. And then just go ahead and allow that to dry, and then continue doing this until you met your desired amount of raffia that you want. Once you're done adding all your raffia, with the extra raffia that you do have, what I did was basically, I'll show you how I covered up that one ring that you can see in the front of your necklace. And there's so many unique ways you can do these. Just again, depending on your style and what you want to go for. But if you research African necklace decor, you'll see so many different kinds of styles that it's amazing. I never had seen them before for some reason, but they are beautiful. So what I did was basically try to even out whatever raffia I had left. And then I cut it about 2 or 3 inches smaller than the first row of raffia that I did. And what I'm going to do is glue it on top of the raffia that I already have on my ring. And I'm going to cover up that one metal ring that you can see from the front. Hopefully I'm trying to show you what I'm doing, and hopefully you guys understand what I'm trying to explain to you. But basically you're just going to add your glue to the top of your raffia and then just start pressing down that extra raffia you had over that one metal ring. And you can cut it the same length if you like, but I just wanted to give it more dimensions, so I ended up cutting it a few inches shorter than what the bottom row is going to be of raffia. And there you have it. And just continue doing that until you're completely done covering up that metal ring. And if you don't want to do this part, you don't have to. You can easily add maybe a row of sequins, some shells, all kinds of stuff. Basically, the imagination, you just let it run wild and add whatever you like. You can even add just a piece of rope onto that one covering, or leave it as is if you like. If you like that metal to show through on this decor. So it's basically what you want. I really didn't even have to add the raffia because I am adding some of these glass marble rock type style things that we have, the vase fillers, and you'll see how I do that in just a few minutes. But you really didn't even have to do this, but I just wanted it to look fuller, so that's what I decided to do. But again, that's completely optional on what you want to add on to your necklace decor and how much of raffia you want to add on to it as well. I haven't gone to Dollar Tree in a while, so I'm kind of trying to venture out a little bit more, and I am planning on going to Dollar Tree very, very soon. And if I do, and when I do, I'm going to make sure to make a Dollar Tree haul for you guys, because I know I'm going to go crazy in there trying to buy all kinds of different supplies because I haven't been there in a while. And I'm kind of happy that I haven't, because I'm using up a lot of items that I had at home that were just in my stockpile, in my little stash, that I just hadn't used or hadn't thought about how to use them. So this is actually a blessing in disguise that allowed me to use a lot of what I already had at home and making all these beautiful decors that I wouldn't have thought of making before if this wouldn't have happened. So I'm trying to see the positive in everything. So I'm happy that I am able to use a lot of what I already had at home, just to have room to get some new stuff. So what I'm doing here is using some of the black rope that you can also get at Dollar Tree or anywhere that you shop at. Just go ahead and right where the raffia ends, I just wrapped it around about 2 times, and then I'm going to double knot it in the back, remove any of that extra rope from that knot, and then I'm going to add a little bit of glue just to make sure that it stays in place. Once I did that and allowed it to dry just a little bit, you don't have to allow it to dry that much, and then all we're going to do is start wrapping around our rope all around the remainder part of our wreath. Now you can even make different designs, go over and under all kinds of different ways of wrapping your rope around. I just wanted to make it as simple as possible, so all I did was just basically wrap it around. But I know there's a lot of different ways you can use rope around these rings and make these wreaths look so beautiful in different ways. But again, I just wanted to show you that you can just easily wrap it around your entire ring or your wreath, and it looks just as beautiful and as elegant as can be, at least in my eyes. You guys let me know what you think down below. But basically, just continue to wrap it around and adding glue every so often just to make sure that your rope stays in place and it stays nice and tight. Just add a little bit of glue just every so often again, just to make sure that it stays in place. And just make sure you make it nice and tight, again, just so you won't see any of that ring or your wreath through the black. When I was doing this, like I said, there was so many different ways you can do this, so many different options that I thought of different ways you can make this in different styles depending on your home. But as you can see, once I was done adding all my rope around my wreath, all I did was basically tie it to at the end again of the opposite side, and do the same thing. I double knotted it, and then I just added some hot glue. But like I was saying, there's different ways you can make this, but you can actually design these to make them look like wreaths, and actually hang them as a door wreath, or like I did and use them as a home decor in one of my bookshelves. So there's different ways you can do them, but I just wanted to know, which ways are you planning on doing them, or which ideas do you have of how you're going to make these and what style? I'm just so curious. I love looking at all the pictures of everyone, you know, their designs and how they're making their items and to match their home decor. It's just amazing to me how when you get inspired by someone, there's so many ways that you can do whatever they're showing you, or, you know, giving you inspiration of doing. But there's just a wide variety of ways. I was talking to one of my daughters, and she was, you know, telling me that I should make one of these more of a glam style. So I'm kind of considering doing one. I'm still trying to figure out how to make it look that way, but if I do, I'll make sure to add it to one of these tutorials to show you a different style of how to make these. Once you're done adding the rope all around your ring, just go ahead and grab some more rope and make a hanging device, which I just wrapped it around the top center of my necklace. Now here is what I'm going to do, and I'm just trimming everything off, making sure that all my raffia isn't a little bit even than what it was, just to make it more finished looking and nice and neat. So just go ahead and trim off as much as you'd like, depending on how even you want it or how short. And as you can see, the raffia does not move, and if it does, just add a little bit of more glue and make sure it stays there and it stays nice and dry. Once you're happy with the way it looks, go ahead and get these glass marbles or vase fillers, and all you do is just add some hot glue or E6000 or both to the back of your stone, and these are the ones that are flat on one side and oval on the other. So just add your glue to the flat side and then glue it on around your raffia. And there you have it, a beautiful home decor. Let me know, what do you think? Is it bohemian, farmhouse, modern, or a little bit of both? But this is the way it looks once it's all nice and complete. I think it looks very, very high-end, very unique type of home decor. Now, I just wanted to show you what I decided to do. I removed those marbles or the stones, and I was planning on spray painting it all white, the raffia. I ran out of white spray paint and I didn't have enough. So what I decided to do was I ended up just spray painting it black. So I'm just showing you how I spray painted it. Basically just spray painted the front, and then I flipped it over, spray painted the back, allowed both of those to dry. Then I kind of moved the raffia around and spray painted in between. Now, one thing that I did notice is once I did spray paint my raffia and allowed it to dry, it got really hard. So that's a unique style, and I liked it. I like the way it looks. And this is the way I ended up spray painting it all black. And then I added my black stones to it again. So it's an all black, more modern style home decor. So our second DIY that we're going to do, or third if you want to consider the first one we did a DIY, what you're going to need are 2 of these wooden signs that you can get at Dollar Tree. They're the thicker wooden pieces. Then you're going to go ahead and grab some raffia and some beads. Now, if you don't have these wooden beads, you can purchase them at Amazon. Sometimes even Dollar Tree has them, just different sizes. But I'll go ahead and make sure I leave a link down below of all my Amazon favorites where you can find these beads at as well. But just go ahead and grab a string of any kind. I'm using the jute twine, and then just run some beads through there and thread them until you get as many beads as you need to line up with your wooden piece that you're going to use. Now, once I was complete with this, I decided to paint mine all one solid color, but you can easily paint your beads a different color, paint just different ways of doing this as well. But just go ahead and continue stringing your beads through your rope. And once you get enough beads onto your rope, make sure you tie a knot on both ends. That way your beads won't fall through your rope, and you'll have them ready to go once you're done. So just go ahead and cut off the rest of the jute twine. Again, just double knot it, making sure that you make a knot big enough to where it won't allow those beads to slide through. Once you do that for both, go ahead and set those aside. And then you're going to grab a hula hoop. Now you can go ahead and get a hula hoop. I'm using the smaller size hula hoop from Dollar Tree, and I already have removed the sticker around the hula hoop. So just go ahead and remove the sticker around the hula hoop. Get some screws, and what you're going to do is basically screw on your hula hoop to your piece of wood. Now, it does take a little bit of work to hold both things, but just go ahead and be patient and do it nice and slow so you won't hurt your hands or your fingers. And go ahead and drill in that hula hoop onto your wood. And then go ahead and do the same thing to the opposite side, making sure they're leveled. I do have a small level here where I make sure that it's nice and even and leveled. And then just go ahead and do the same thing, grabbing a screw and screwing it into the opposite side of your piece of wood and hula hoop. Now, if you don't have a screwdriver, you can easily add E6000 and then add maybe some tape and allow it to dry very, very well before you do anything else. You wouldn't probably be able to hang anything that heavy on it if you do use just the E6000, but it is possible to do that. I just wanted to make sure that this stayed in place and didn't move, so I decided to go ahead and grab my screwdriver and add some screws onto my wood and attach it to my hula hoop that way. So once you're done adding your piece of wood and attaching it to your hula hoop with the screws, you can easily spray paint or paint this any color you like. I took it out and just spray painted it all white. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and add my beads to it. Like I said, you don't have to paint your beads the same color. I just decided to make this all one color. You can paint your beads a different color, and then once your actual shelf is dry, then you can add your beads onto your shelf. That way they'll stay the same opposite colors or what have you, and it won't smear onto your piece of wood. So just go ahead and paint each one of them individually, whichever color you like, and then attach them if you decide to paint them two different colors. But since I'm painting it all one color, which is white, I just went ahead and added my beads onto my piece of wood before I painted everything. That way I just have to paint it all together at one time. And all I'm using to add these is hot glue, but again, you can add E6000 to make sure that they stay in place. But since they're in the front of the shelf and they're really not going to be touched, I figured my hot glue would be enough. Make sure you glue that rope to the ends. That way your beads can stay in place and have that extra security right there. So once you're done with that, just take it out and spray paint it any color you'd like. And this is the way it looks completed. Isn't it adorable shelf? I love it. I think it's so cute. You can make it farmhouse or even bohemian style. Basically, it's up to you on how you want to decorate it. And this is the way it looks in black, my necklace. And here it is the way it looks in yellow. Which one's your favorite? Let me know down below. And then here is our macrame mini shelf. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and share with friends and family. Until next time, you guys stay blessed. Bye.